Welcome to Theater Therapy, a podcast for movie lovers who treat going to the movie theater like a therapy session. With co-hosts Aly and Ems, we geek out and dive deep into all things movies, including top picks, movie reviews, best soundtracks, our current hyperfixations, and more. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy today's session.
Welcome back to another session of Theater Therapy, kicking off our season 2. We've been on a little hiatus and now we're back, so let's just jump right into it. There's been some new movies out the last couple months that we went and saw. We went and saw Mean Girls and Anyone But You, so we're going to be reviewing both of those today. And we did kind of finally make a review system. I'll be posting it on our Instagram so you guys can kind of like see the visual, but we're going to kind of use that as our guide to kind of make sure all reviews kind of stay consistent with our categories. So we're going to start off with Mean Girls.
Mean Girls the musical, because a lot of people didn't realize that it was a musical, which I don't get how people didn't get that.
I mean, to be fair, in the trailer, they didn't really show that much, which is a mistake on their part, because that's
huge.
Like,
the amount of people that I spoke to, they're like, what do you mean it's a musical?
And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
They just thought, oh, they're just remaking it.
No, it was not a remake.
It was like, you know.
Well, it was a remake in a different way than what people were thinking that it was.
Right, because they took the movie, made it into a Broadway musical, and then they were making the Broadway musical back into a movie.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Did they do a good job? That remains to be seen.
This is what we're going to talk about. So, I mean, anybody who knows Mean Girls came out in 2004, Tina Fey. I mean, that movie is iconic. Like, anybody in our generation knows how amazingly iconic that movie is. Then it was made into a Broadway musical, and the music, if you're a theater kid like me, the music for that is actually insane. It is so good. The original cast for that is amazing. So I was hyped. I knew from the beginning it was going to be a musical because of the cast release I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, Aly, we're going to this.
Yeah. She had also listened to all the music.
I know all the songs.
Knows all the songs. I've listened to them just because she's listened to them. Yeah. I'm not as big into musicals and the musical theater world.
I am obsessed.
Just
and when
enough,
I saw
but yeah,
that Renee Rapp was going to be Regina, anybody who doesn't know, she was Regina on Broadway right before COVID. She only got a short stint because COVID happened, but she was like 19 when she was. Yeah. It was crazy.
And I've seen clips. She did
She's amazing as Regina on Broadway. So I was so excited that she was going to be Regina in the movie. And I will say, the whole cast, I was most excited for her and Aly Carvalho, sorry if I say her name wrong, to be Janice.
Yeah.
Because she was Moana, and she can freaking sing. But everybody else I was nervous about.
Everybody else was just kind of random picks for me. I didn't really know.
Well, I didn't know Avantika, and I didn't know Bibi Wood, who were Karen and Gretchen.
I only knew the girl who's going to be Katie.
And Gary Rice.
And the boy from Pretty Little...
Briney. He was going to be Aaron.
Whatever.
I didn't know. I think it's Jack Hal Spivey. I don't know how to say his name. For Damien.
Yeah.
I didn't know like him, and I didn't know the two girls from Gretchen and Karen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew Gary Rice. I knew Chris Briney.
See, I had my doubts from the beginning though because Katie.
Oh, she made me nervous from the beginning.
Like
because they didn't announce her, and I was like,
to her, she's just not.
I'm like
a singer.
And like Chris Briney,
especially if you're going to put her up against
freaking Renee Rapp and Aly Carvalho.
I know, I'm
like seasoned singers.
Give the girl a chance.
Was Moana when she was like, I don't know, I think she's like 14, 15, and she like won awards for that, I'm pretty sure. I can't even remember, but like
something like that.
And then Renee Rapp is like getting huge right now. Anyways, last year and a half. And I'm like, you're gonna put Little and Gary Rice up against these two? Like
you're not even giving her a shot.
No, and then same thing like with Chris Briney. I was like, can he even sing? Because he's just some pretty boy from an Amazon TV show.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I haven't watched All the Boys That Love... Wait, what's it not?
It's
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
The Summer I Turned Pretty. For some reason, I can never say the name right. I just said a Pretty Little Summer thing.
I've never watched it. It doesn't really intrigue me, to be honest.
And, like, he does fine in that show.
But isn't his character more kind of like angsty, like, you know?
I couldn't see him being the pretty boy. I'm like,
because like Aaron,
again, no offense to him, he just doesn't match my vision of what the hot guy that they
Aaron's
fight
supposed
over.
To be kind of like in the original movie, like he's like sweet and charismatic, and he's just like, you know what I mean? And he sees the good in everybody because like in the original movie, Katie's like, why do you like her? He goes, well, she's a good person to get to know her. Like, he's very, like, positive and just, like, you know. But Chris Bryan to me just more, like, mellow and, like,
honestly,
low energy. And I'm like, I need to have Aaron be, like, he's, like, a typical preppy football player boy.
Yeah.
Like, he's so basic. Like, his character's such a basic football player, but, like, he's a nice football player. So I'm like, I need to have some, like, I need to see the riz, as kids say, like the charisma.
Oh gosh, do not say that.
And like, he didn't give that to me.
He just gave me nothing, okay?
He
Absolute
really
nothing. I was not.
You know who I wish we had more of?
At all
Karen and Gretchen.
Yeah, we had nothing.
Like, they totally cut out, like, a lot of the original,
like, lines. The best
stuff
lines.
with them. Like, scenes even. Like, we didn't get the 3-way phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess 4-way phone call at some point. That's so iconic.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of, like, the interactions that you get from the original
like, we seriously had, like,
don't
nothing.
Get.
And, like, Avantika slayed as Karen.
Yeah.
Like, she actually was so much better than I thought she'd be. I hadn't seen her in anything because I didn't really have a thing to judge her by. But since I didn't know her, I was like, ooh, like, am I going to like her as Karen?
Right.
And, like, be able to sing. Sexy's a hard song to sing. And she actually did way better than I thought she would.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody can really
and
top Kate Rockwell in the original, but, like, she held up.
She did a good version of it. Like,
yeah.
You can't compare exactly to the Broadway because it is different.
It is different.
But her version was
good.
Well,
like, I've actually listened to it now. Well. I'm like, I actually, like, it's fun because, like, it's a little bit more, like, obviously, like, with the live Broadway play, they have to use certain instruments to make it, you know, to play it live. Since it was, like, a recording, they made it a little bit more, like, synthesized.
Yeah.
If you listen to the production of the songs,
techy,
yeah, it's a little bit more, like, you can hear, like, I can't remember what the instrument is now off the top of my head, but, like, you can hear in the background, and it's fun. Like, it's a bop.
Yeah.
And people have been recreating the dance on TikTok a lot that I've seen.
I've seen that, too.
And I'm like, yeah, it actually is really good. So I loved her as Karen. And I wish we would have seen more of her because we got, like, nothing. Like, I think she literally had, like, 10 lines. I swear.
Really, though? I mean, we didn't
so
get...
much.
Do you want to do something fun? You want to go to Taco Bell?
I can't go to Taco Bell. God, Karen, we're on an all-carb diet. You're so stupid.
Yeah, like,
we didn't even get her, but I am, though. I'm failing almost everything. Like,
or...
Where was that?
I have ESPN.
I have, like, ESPN or something. I have a fifth sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like, she's so funny. So.
And, yeah, you missed a ton of that. And Gretchen, I wish we would have gotten some more with her.
Yeah, they left it. I'm happy they at least left that stuff in because it made her character make sense enough.
Yeah, they gave us just enough, but I wish we would have gotten
again
just a little bit more.
Yeah,
because she did really well. She like had a song that was just like,
"What's Wrong with Me?" Actually, she sounded so good on, and that song's high.
Yeah,
and I didn't know if she could sing either, but she was singing it like live. Too.
Yeah, it's like they recorded it just on set.
So, I was really happy with that.
Yeah, I guess we should say there's probably going to be spoilers. Obviously, Mean Girls, if you've seen it at all, you kind of already know the gist. But that's just a given. So, anyways.
Let's talk about the other songs, though. Okay,
the other songs that I wish I could rip out of my brain and never hear again. A Cautionary
Tale. They sounded good.
Yeah, okay, I'll give
They sounded really good. But we talked about this when we got in the car afterwards. The phone screenshots, like why is it that every movie nowadays has to have like some sort of POV from somebody like filming on their phone?
Like nothing makes me more physically angry than having to watch
it takes me out of
a phone POV on a big screen.
It like takes me out of the moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all of a sudden it's like, it's skinny. And I'm like, why are we watching a phone POV?
Right. And that's how it starts. You start with it tiny. And I'm like, okay, I get what they're doing here. Well, I hate it, but okay. Make it big. And I was expecting them to like
slowly widen
it, start going in like out and wide.
They didn't,
but they kept it that small for almost the entire opening scene, and it wasn't until they like actually like opened the garage door or whatever that it opened and like was a full screen.
Like I get the idea because like in the Broadway play, like that's like the opening song, Janice and Damien are singing to the audience because the audience is right there. They're breaking the fourth wall and they're narrating the movie, like the play. But like. Is there not a better way we could have done it? Like you said, like maybe start off with that for like a second, but then widen it way faster or something.
Just like give us the idea that that's what they're doing.
But like, why did we say skinny for like the whole song?
Right.
And then widen out. And then they didn't even keep the opening song. They changed, what's the name of it? I'll tell you.
When she's in Africa or whatever?
Hated it. I absolutely hated the new song. Like, I actually was like, this is awful. Why did they change it? So the original song is called It Roars. And that song is so good. And they changed it to What Ifs. Mm-hmm. And like, it just did not hit the same. I'm like, what? Why? Is it because Gary Rice couldn't sing It Roars? Because that song is hard. But she could barely sing What Ifs. And I'm like,
how about you hire someone
who
can
rethink
sing
this.
Or
and like, don't get me wrong, I like her.
Yeah,
like give her something.
Because there's been many people that have like taken a singing position on a show or something, and they worked their asses off.
Yeah, to sing.
And I'm not saying that she didn't work hard, but it's like,
just in comparison to everybody else,
did you even let her try?
It's not really fair to her because I'm like, when she didn't sound like the audio sounds. She sounds very well, and like they tweaked it a lot. Like you could tell that they changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't get why they didn't just go with an all singing cast.
I'm like, what? Well, because the thing too with Chris
musical.
Briney, my beef with him is he didn't want to sing. So there's an interview of him too from the press tour of him saying like, well, I didn't sing the audition, but they said they wanted me, so they just cut all the songs. And I was like, I'm sorry, back it way up. You're telling me you thought he was the best fit for Aaron. First of all, mistake. Second of all, because he didn't want to sing, you cut the songs. Aaron, he doesn't like have a full song by himself, but like he's supposed to sing. Like there's a reprise with him and Katie. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to sing "And Someone Gets Hurt" with Regina. The fact that they cut that part out pisses me off. Okay, because that part of the song is like, it's climactic. It's supposed to be big with them singing like, and fine, damn, you're fine. Oh, it's fine. And they kiss in the party, and like the music's going crazy. And then till someone gets hurt, and like it's like a big thing because Regina's trying to get him back. Katie sees it. It's a whole thing, and they cut it out.
Well, I mean, it's a huge turning part in the movie itself.
Yeah,
and like in the story.
I hate it. I'm pissed that I think the two casting choices I'm maddest most about were definitely Aaron and Katie, and they're like the two main people. I'm like,
I know.
How did you fumble the bag so hard?
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. If you absolutely had to have both of them, have someone dub.
Yeah, we dubbed High School Musical. We dubbed Troy Bolton's voice in the first one. Why can't we dub again?
Yeah, like.
Well, you know what's funny? They even dubbed. The end scene of the prom or spring fling or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know how it started that scene, that girl's on stage singing, and we're like, wow, she sounds amazing. That was dubbed. I saw the girl. She made a TikTok, and she was like, yeah, they just needed somebody on the day of to like lip sync to like the song. It wasn't even me singing. I was just chosen from the extra cast to like sing it. And I'm like, what?
Like, okay, so they know that that's something you can do.
I'm like, so why didn't we do that?
Or again, just
cast someone
who can sing.
In a flipping musical movie. This is why musical movies get such a bad rap and why people don't like them very much. It's because they always have something wrong with either the casting or the production of the music.
Yeah.
And then people they don't think they're good because like, well, this is this and this and that. I'm like, ugh.
Like, it's just, actually, people just don't know how to make it properly.
They don't know how to or again, advertise for it properly because people didn't know it was a musical. Okay, when we went, another thing.
Oh, yeah. I have never wanted to dump my soda over someone's head more in my entire life.
Yeah.
Than I did
the people in front of us in the movie.
Yeah. They were like
never in my life have I had anybody be so disrespectful and loud in a movie theater.
Yeah.
And we've had some experiences before.
We've had some like pretty bad ones before.
Our blood pressure was through the roof. My blood was boiling
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they come in just
so we went on, like, a Friday night or something like that. Or whatever night we went.
And it wasn't even an opening night. Like, we were a couple weeks...
No, it was, like...
later.
A week after. Yeah. And for reference, we live in a college town, so, like...
Which sucks.
Because everywhere you go, it's, like, filled with college kids, and they're so irritating. I'm like, we're the same age, but, like, we're not in college, so it's different.
And so we can hate
And
them.
we hate that. And literally, we're sitting there, okay, and we're like a couple rows from the back because we like to be up higher and like in the middle of a row is kind of our thing.
Well, we even ended up sitting up pretty high.
Higher than we usually
people
do.
had already kind of bought tickets in our usual spots. So I was like, let's just sit like all the way up, you know?
Okay, so we're sitting there. We get there on time, right? It's a few minutes before, we're watching all the previews, and it's whatever. We're eating our snacks, and then like right before it starts, maybe like a minute and a half, this group of like this guy and like 4 girls come in. Okay, it was weird.
It was weird.
And like 2 of them sit kind of like in front of Aly, and then the guy's kind of right in front of me, and then the 2 girls are next to him on the other side. Okay, so he's in the middle. Okay, well, first of all, his big fat head, he's kind of tall, so I was like already irritated.
Just already there, and, you know.
I don't really know what happened with the girls next to Aly, but the girls next to me, oh my gosh. I think I also blocked that part of it. You have to let me remember. But like, they just start talking like full volume, okay?
Right. And like, we're finishing up the credits.
Yeah, so like,
which, okay, that's
I get
fine.
It's whatever. It's
You
fine.
can
I can
talk.
deal with that.
But now the movie is starting,
But, like,
and they're still talking.
But they're also like on their phones, okay? And they're like laughing and talking loud, so their phones are on full brightness, and like the lights go down, and we're sitting there, and they're still talking, and I'm like, honeys, and it's starting.
That's what the lights going down mean.
And then the opening song starts, and it's a cautionary tale, and like they're singing, and like they're still talking, and I'm like, I look at Aly, and I was like, I'm about to kill somebody. Yeah. I'm literally about to kill somebody because I can't hear the song
because of how loud they are.
They're like talking like we are right now, like full volume,
and like we're up behind them, and the music is blasting, and like we can still hear them enough that it's cutting through the music. Yeah, like, they're talking loud,
and then this couple comes up to our row, comes right next to me, and goes, "What seats are you in?" Full volume again, and I'm like 7 and 8, and she's like, "Oh, okay," and like walks down a few seats, and I was like, well, our whole row is empty. Sit anywhere.
And they walked almost all the way back down to the other end.
Yeah.
I'm like,
do you not go to the theater enough to know where the seats are, what order the seats are?
And I'm like, okay, so if you're in seat 3, why would you go to the middle of the freaking row? Like, that's basically where they sat.
Yeah. And the theater wasn't even full.
No,
like, it was us, the people in front of us.
A few groups,
and
all
then
kind
like
of
down
scattered.
a few rows, there's like it was 95% empty. Okay,
so I'm like, don't talk to me.
And I was like, I was annoyed. And I was like, 7 and 8. And she's like, oh, okay. And like walked away. And I was like, the opening song is going. What are you people doing? It was so irritating. Yeah. And then at the end of the movie, during like the last like song, the person like a few rows down to the right of us had like their phone, like a Snapchat video, you know, like the front Snapchat with like the flash.
It wasn't the last song. It was because it ruined my favorite part of the movie.
Which part was it?
She doesn't even go here.
Oh.
It was that scene.
It was during that scene. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had their, like, Snapchat
They got on their phone
flashlight
a few times. Same with the people in front of us.
Oh, my gosh.
But they, like, during that part, the scene's, like, kind of playing out. And they pull out their phone and are recording, like, their faces with, like, the flash.
The front flash from Snapchat. So, like, it's bright. Everybody knows what the flashlight
and they're,
is.
Like, making faces and then, like, flip it and record the thing. And then they're, like, sitting there posting it and, like, taking forever.
And I'm like...
And so I'm so busy looking down at them going,
you
like,
missed
what
the movie.
Freak? You're, blinding
is our
us.
generation so out of touch with people around them and reality that they can't stay at their phone for a 2-hour movie?
Seriously.
I'm like, never in my life have I thought to pull my phone out and get my reaction live to a movie in a movie theater. That is so disrespectful and rude to people around you.
I know, that's
I'm paying to
rude.
watch the movie, not to watch you react to the movie, okay?
Or to see you text someone the whole time. The guy in front of me and the girls were texting, like...
I'm like...
full phone brightness.
Like, fully up. And I'm like, we're in a dark theater.
You are burning my retinas right now. I'm like, turn your phone on Do Not
My
Disturb.
phone is always off. My Apple Watch is set for movie mode, like everything, because I don't want to be that person that disrupts somebody's theater experience, because that is so disrespectful and so insensitive.
Like, and I just didn't get, like, I'm like, okay, where is your brain at that you think that's so fine and normal? Because the girl that was closer to me also kept her phone in the cup holder, facing like her, and every time it would buzz, it would light up, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
Get a text. And I'm like, and
honey,
she doesn't even flinch. She doesn't even try to turn it off. She would just let it stay bright for the whole time. And I'm like,
my phone isn't even out. My phone is in my purse, okay, underneath me.
Yeah.
And if my Apple Watch, like I said, my Apple Watch, if I'm not wearing long sleeves, even if I am wearing long sleeves, my Apple Watch is set to like not light up when I turn it over.
When you turn.
Because it pisses me off. It's so distracting for me. I have to be like in the mode. And I'm like, why, again, is our generation so out of touch? Even at, in the beginning song, I think too, the girl was like, wait, this is a musical to her friend. And I was like,
you're like, bitch, why are you here?
I'm like, get the F out right now.
Well, and then it was those two.
At the end.
Yeah.
End of it, the main girl, one of the girls who's the other one, was the original one a musical? And I was like,
you don't even know the original? Why are you here?
I'm like, girl, be so for real right now. You just leaned over to your friend at the end of the movie saying, wait, was like the original a musical? And I'm like, how do you not freaking know?
I know, I'm like, how old are you? Did you live under a rock?
Oh my gosh.
Like, okay, maybe you haven't seen it, but you have at least seen enough about it.
Oh yeah.
Because of how iconic it is and how ingrained into society
like,
it is.
I respect the fact that not everybody's gonna be like me, where like I know the lore behind all of it. Like I know that.
Right.
Aly doesn't know the lore. I tried to tell her some things that she knew.
Yeah, I don't do as much of the musical stuff, but at
like
least
she knows the
knew
original,
enough.
and like, or she paid enough attention to the commercial to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like, oh my gosh, some people, I just could not believe it. I was so blown away. Yeah. So back to the movie.
Let's get into our rating system.
Yes.
So first, let's kind of explain the rating system.
Yeah.
Go through all of the categories, and then we'll jump into our reviews.
So, and like I said, I'll be posting this on Instagram so you guys can kind of like see it. And then if you want to use it, you can use it. Just kind of like, we break it down to kind of how, when we watch movies, what we're looking at and what we think about afterwards. Because like, we like to analyze it a lot. And if you follow our Instagram, when we went and watched Anyone But You, that's when we kind of started using it. A couple of them, but we have since upgraded it. So
yep,
a couple of them.
And some of these like might not apply to every movie because they're genre specific.
Yeah,
but we are just gonna have them
in there so we can use them. So first one will be Ooey Gooey, as which you've heard us use before. This is again kind of be for romance movies where it's like you get that like kind of like
butterflies,
warm, like
romance,
swoony
lovey-dovey
feeling where it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so romantic, or like, oh my gosh, he just said this, and or like,
just, makes you melt,
like something like that. Yep. And that's gonna be, all of these are gonna be 1 to 10, and we'll kind of rate them in that scale.
Yeah. The next one is overall comedy. So
always
how funny it is.
Yeah. Laughability.
And just but I feel like this applies to nearly any movie because a lot of movies have at least some funny lines. So this will especially go towards like hardcore comedies.
Yes.
But I feel like every movie has a little bit
typically
of laugh moments, whether it's intentional or not. Mm-hmm. So again, 1 through 10 for that.
And then the next one is kind of raunchy / spicy scale for like our more adult movies that we like to go watch that are gonna have some more like maybe intimate scenes or just like
raunchy
comments. Raunchy, like comments or things like that. So
okay, so the next one is rewatchability. This one is actually a really important one for me because I love going to the movies, but I love rewatching movies even more. So if it's a movie that I liked it enough that I'll go rewatch it,
even at least one time. Yeah. Because like for me, all the movies I'll go watch in the theater, but I'm like, oh, that was really great. But I don't really think I wouldn't choose to turn it on and sit down and watch it by myself. Right. If somebody had turned it on, I'd probably sit and enjoy it. Right. But like if it's for me personally, if I'm going to be like, when I'm having my movie time, if I'm going to pick to watch that movie, is it going to be on my list to rewatch?
Yeah. And that kind of has like a 2-part, like, would I go see it in theaters again? Mm-hmm. Or is this just one I will choose to watch by myself? Because again,
Avatar, The Way of the Water, definitely top of my list for me because I wouldn't watch that 6 times in the movie theater.
Yep.
So like there's definitely some.
So there's a little bit of wiggle room,
but again,
in there
still
of, like,
kind of 1 to 10 of like that's kind of what we mean when we say rewatchability though.
Yeah.
So,
like how willing are we to watch it again?
Yeah. Next one was musicality. Not even just for like Mean Girls like musicals, but even just for movies in general because
the movie score.
I very much am aware of the music in the background. I've talked about this before. We've had an episode on it before. Music is such a big part, at least for me, for the production of a movie. Like I'm really aware of what's playing. And so the musicality scale is again gonna be like, okay, for musicals specifically, obviously we'll use that. But even for other ones, like, okay, how was the score? How was the soundtrack? Because like I know I'm really excited for Dune Part 2.
Right.
The first Dune music, oh my gosh, was so good. I'm so excited for the next one. So like kind of that's again, musicality.
Kind of all
Very
goes in
important.
together. Even with something like Anyone But You, where it has some background music, but the use of the music.
Oh, I
and,
love the soundtrack. I already saved a couple songs
unwritten, like, if they have, like, a good use of a song, even if it's one that wasn't written for
Barbie,
but,
what was
things
it made
like
for?
that. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So that's kind of what that will encapsulate. And then next is CGI/effects.
Yeah, so the overall, like, look of the movie, because, like, especially nowadays,
sometimes they
the
suck.
CGI is awful. And I'm like,
and it's like,
what?
we have really good
like Marvel movies lately?
Yeah.
Trash.
I mean, I haven't seen them. We have good technology. Why did I say that so weird? We have good tech nowadays.
Yeah. The CGI,
so
or even practical effects, like kind of
just the overall effects,
how it looks,
cinematic looks,
not
CGI.
necessarily like the overall production, just like the effects itself, like how it actually looks on screen. Next one was action, 1 to 10. Obviously, the action scale of like how good were the action sequences, how much like did it get your heart rate going, kind of a deal. Yeah. Like
if it was an action movie, did it even have action in it? Like,
because again,
were the scenes good? Were the scenes mid,
Yeah, kind of where was it on that scale.
So next is tearjerker, meaning did we cry? Was it a sad movie?
How much did it make me feel?
Yeah, this is like the emotion one. So like, did I feel happy? Did it make me cry of like joy? Was it like, a really heartbreaking movie, really emotional, makes me feel like I could do anything, like, the emotions of it all. Yeah.
Next one would be jump scares, mainly specific for our like thriller action movie, like thriller horror movies. Kind of how much was my heart pounding waiting for something to jump out and give me a heart attack. Right. Or just like jump scares also could mean for like any ones that aren't horror movies, like jump scare, like, ooh, like that was kind of cringy. Like it's like a jump scare.
Like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah, kind of. So it can mean two different
sometimes
things.
There is like a little jump scare scene in a random movie that's not technically a thriller. So kind of can apply to any.
And the last one
is, would you watch this movie with your parents?
Because let's be honest, a lot of movies that we will talk about,
we would not watch this
with our parents in the same room, just because it's like uncomfortable, like,
or they just really
wouldn't
not
get it.
Like
they just wouldn't like it, or they just wouldn't appreciate it.
Especially our mom. There's more
Sorry to call you out, Mom.
There's more movies that I would like be like, yeah, let's watch it, Dad, or whatever.
Maybe your parents are really weird about movies, and they didn't let you, or they have high opinions of it. Or
this can also be like how family friendly is the movie. Like, would you watch this with your family? Yeah, kids, whatever.
More than just kind of somebody else in your room. So yeah, and then we'll take the overall average. We'll average out of 100 every time. So it'll be 10 different categories, and then we'll kind of give you our percentage on our scoring of the movie. So let's jump into it for Mean Girls then. Okay. So we can finish talking about each of them. So Ooey Gooey.
Nope.
Honestly, I cringed so hard at the end when Katie and Aaron kissed. I physically recoiled. I went, ugh.
Like, this is
They did not have any chemistry for me whatsoever. So the Ooey Gooey romance.
Are we doing zeros?
That's what I was going to say.
Are we doing zeros? Because I feel like that was a 0.
Because this one really didn't have any Ooey Gooey romance.
No, I say we can do
it was,
0.
Okay, it was a 0 for me then. It really was.
Because honestly, like, it was...
Yeah,
that never even crossed my mind.
It was, no romance quality where I was like,
at all.
Oh my gosh. At all. Overall comedy. Okay, we talked about this in the car. Honestly, they cut out a lot of the funny lines. Like, they tried to meld the original with, like, modern day stuff and make it, like, Gen Z-ified, and they did it poorly, where none of the like, I didn't laugh that much. I really didn't. I
only laughed at things that I thought were so incredibly, like, stupid and cringy
that I was like,
like, I cannot believe they made that into the movie. Like, I can't believe that is what they came up with.
Okay, it may sound like we're, like, hashing this movie. I was so excited for it, and definitely there was some good stuff, but overall it was, like, not what I expected it to be in the slightest, and I was disappointed. So this is why we're like...
Well, and if you see the track record of Mean Girls, the original... Successful.
Broadway play is huge in the theater world.
Right. And so then, like, to go with 2, like, you know, home runs and then a swing and a miss. Yeah. Like, it's just, it was not what it should have been.
So overall comedy, for me, since I laughed a couple times, I think I'll give it like a 2.
I was gonna say 2.
Because I did laugh a couple times.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's points for that.
Yeah, raunchy and spice.
0. Well,
okay, but you have to keep into effect
some of the comments.
Outfits, sexy dance, some of the comments.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I would give it like a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because like, it's not like insanely so.
But some of the comments that they did keep from the original script would be considered kind of more raunchy. Because it's that early 2000s humor where like they make kind of, not like crude jokes, but like
more inappropriate jokes. Adulty type jokes.
So maybe I'll do like a 3. I'll do a 3.
I probably will say 2.
Rewatchability.
Never again. I will, like, unless I just want to show someone how awful it is, I will never watch that movie again.
Really?
0. Yeah.
For me, mainly out of curiosity, I want to watch it again, just because I want to see, like, again.
If it gets better.
Not like if it gets better, just like, again, compare it to the original for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably really watch it again one more time out of choice. So we're going to do a 2, because I feel like that kind of sums up my feelings on that.
Okay.
Musicality. Okay. Here's the thing. Sexy? Yes. World burn? Yes. Someone gets hurt? Yes-ish.
They had like some good moments. It just wasn't quite what it should be.
Apex Predator, disappointment because they cut out Katie's part, but also she couldn't have sang it. So it's, they kind of saved the song. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn because I was really excited for the music. Renee Rapp did do really good, but at the same time, they like, I see stuff on TikTok too. People like they slowed it down and like they know it's the same tempo, but it does sound slower to me, even though I don't even know the facts behind it.
It did.
The production just sounded different, and it did sound slower. I don't know if I liked it. Her vocals, amazing. But the production behind each of the songs, like the background, besides Sexy, I didn't like. All of them I didn't like the background besides Sexy. Sexy I thought was good. But hers doesn't have a lot of background vocals anyways, or a lot of band. But like in the Broadway play, like there's a lot of drums and guitar, and it's very like, kind of, not like rocky, but like kind of has a little bit of rock music inspired. They like made it way too synthesized, I feel like. All the instruments sounded just way too like, flat. There wasn't very much depth to the songs. So
I don't think I can give it any more than a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 5. That's gonna be probably the highest category out of everything, but I'm gonna give it a 5 because I did like a couple of the songs, and I have a soft spot for Renee Rapp, and I have to give her that. But, CGI and effects, I mean, there was like minimal in this. It was a lot of practical sets.
Right. I did kind of enjoy. I'm not as good at remembering the names as you do. But the
not
one
Apex Predator, it's Revenge Party. Revenge Party, that we're talking about, like, all the costumes and the fun in the hallway and like very like colorful.
No, I hated that. That was way too much. I was like, so much is happening.
Then what are you talking about?
I cannot.
Oh,
like,
someone
I'm like,
gets
why?
hurt at the Halloween party?
Yeah.
That one?
Like, yeah, I really liked that effect. For one, I was bummed about her outfit. Like, there's other things about that scene I didn't like.
Angel instead of, because even
I would like someone to explain that.
Let's talk about this for just 1 second, because in the original movie, she's a bunny. She has the little long hair, the bunny tail, and the ears. On Broadway, she doesn't really do that. She just wears like everything I've seen. I haven't actually seen the Broadway play, but everything I've seen, she wears like a red, shiny like corset top and like a very very short black skirt, with, like black tights.
Kind of like a devil-y costume.
Yeah, more like that.
So then why the angel?
Why?
I'm confused. Also why the angel with such big wings, like the whole thing.
She looked really good, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't fit the vibe of the movie.
No, I'm like, okay, if you're going to do an angel, why is it like the gray angel? Like, where's black?
Yeah.
Or like do red or white. Or white. It was just weird.
Well, like, because they kept Gretchen as a black cat in the black spandex outfit on stage and in the movie.
Yeah.
And Karen still does a mouse duh. Did change her outfit, which is fine.
Yeah, so it's just as... So there's still things about that scene. That's why I'm like, the music and effects and everything, like, I don't know.
But that scene was really cool.
Scene was kind of cool, how it played out. Like, the dancing, the movements,
they made
the
it, like,
lighting.
Dark. It was actually kind of sick.
I did... Like, that was one of the few parts of the movie that I went, damn. Like, this is... Yeah. That's pretty good.
And her singing was really great. I do wish they would have had Erin singing, but,
Yeah.
I digress.
So for that, I will give it a 3. Because really it doesn't have that many other effects, and most of the other stuff I didn't like.
They didn't really have that much effect.
When if you count like the phone point of view as an effect,
Oh, that, yeah, no.
then negative 100.
Too many montages of phone sequences of TikTokers TikToking. And I'm like, why is the thing?
Yeah, why are you here? Anyways.
So, okay, action. There, like, wasn't any action. Because it's not really an action
people
movie.
Get hit by buses. I say
1.
Yeah, just a 1.
Tearjerker. Literally nothing. 0.
It made me only feel angry. So if we're going with emotions, I would say yes, it did get emotion out of me, but it was just anger that I wasted time watching it.
0. Jump scares. 0. Biggest one ever. I can't even watch when she touches his hair. That whole part of Revenge Party. I'm sorry. Why are we in a fisheye lens where she's singing, like, up close to the camera? And it's like, first of all, her singing, awful. Sorry, Terry Rice, your singing right there, it was awful. No emotion provoking whatsoever besides anger. Okay?
Well, and, like, the notes were just all the same. Like, it was like...
In the Broadway song, she goes up.
Yeah.
And it's... Anyways. And then, first of all, why? Why on God's green earth did we do it like...
I know, I'm like, whose idea was this?
The fisheye, like, weird, like, wide lens on her face?
Like, did you want to make a meme? Like, was your goal to have something so awful that it lives on the internet forever as a joke?
I literally jumped. I was like, what is this? And I know, and, like, I was trying not to laugh. I, like, was dying. I'm like, this is so awful.
It was bad. So, jump scare, there was a few things in there that just made me go...
Jump scare. It gets a 4 for me on that because I literally did have a jump scare on a couple parts.
I give it a 5.
Would you watch with your parents?
No.
Mom and Dad would hate this movie when I tell you. And also, like, it was just, like, inappropriate ability for, like, kids. No, it's obviously, I don't think anyone.
It's not really a kid movie.
No, but the original never really was anyways.
Yeah.
Probably nobody younger than, like, 12, I would say.
Yeah.
Watch it.
So I would say maybe like a 2.
Yeah, like a 2-ish.
Okay. So overall, 18 out of 100 for me.
Mine was 19 out of 100.
Which is so sad. Emily's like, that seems wrong. And I'm like, well, the movie sucks. So actually, that's quite accurate. But yeah, do with that what you will.
I like it so bad.
Anyways, with that, we'll end our Mean Girls review and jump right into Anyone But You, which was exponentially better than Mean Girls.
We went and saw this almost right after it came out, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like the next week or 2.
Yeah. And we did bring Aly's boyfriend with us, which was kind of funny to make him go with us to this movie.
It was really funny. It had us all laughing so
hard.
Was
so funny. This movie was so hilarious.
And this is one which is kind of funny. So going into Mean Girls, my expectations were okay. I was like, we'll see, but I had started hearing some things, so my expectations were lowering. Anyone But You, I thought it was gonna suck from the get-go. I was like,
the reviews made it seem like it was gonna be like people had said like
no
they
chemistry.
Had to reshoot stuff. Yeah, they had no chemistry, all this, and I was like, oh no, is it not gonna be good?
Right. And in the whole raunchy rom-com world, we haven't had a good movie in a while. So I was kind of like, eh.
Plus, some people were saying that like, then on the opposite side, as soon as it came out, I had people on TikTok saying this is like the best rom-com of our generation, and I was like, whoa. So you either love it or you hate it. I was like so worried.
There's not a lot of in between.
But also from people who make those comments, I'm like, do you actually know what a good movie is though? Because I never know like their point of reference of like
true.
Like if you're comparing to like The Proposal and like 10 Things I Hate About You, things like those movies, like old ones, like how can you compare it though? Because like it's way different. Like
and it's now using modern things, which for me like old school stuff is more romantic than modern day stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I, like, get more ooey gooeys from the older movies than I do modern ones. Like, and, like, the language they use makes me cringe more often, even though I'm like, this is how people talk in everyday life now, for the most part. Why does it make me so uncomfortable and hate a movie when it's just my normal life? Maybe that's because I don't want to see regular life. I want an escape. I don't know. But that being said, I did really like this movie. I thought it was hilarious.
It was so funny. I was cackling in the theater, let me tell you. And I was holding back, okay?
Yeah. I have never laughed so hard in theater in a while.
So long. It was so freaking hilarious. And plus, we went to a different theater, not in our town. So we had more, like, normal people, I guess. Yeah. Like, more like, it was more, like, adult-filled, obviously, because it was not rated anyways. But, like, people in there were also laughing in the comments. Like, they were laughing.
It was a fun group.
It was a really fun group. There was some old
I
people
swear,
behind
like
us that were really funny.
yeah, the movie theater experience really depends on the group.
The audience.
Sometimes you have a really good audience with you that's laughing, that's, you know,
engaged in it and all that stuff.
And other times it sucks. But
no,
that one was a good experience.
I was cackling my head off. I seriously was laughing so much, so frequently. And it was just like refreshing to have like a newer movie, like a movie set in modern day that has these like cliche tropes and stuff.
Yeah.
But like twisted into a modern day one, but it wasn't where it was like super too modern and too cringy.
Yeah.
Because like there was no TikTok crap.
Right.
I love TikTok, but I don't want to see it in a movie, okay? I don't want to see it in a movie.
It doesn't need to be there.
Me.
Yeah, it kind of walked that line perfectly for
the
most part. I don't remember there being a ton of things that made me go, ugh, really?
No, I honestly can't think of anything.
Yeah, I don't recall. So it was done fairly well.
Oh my gosh. The casting actually I loved. From the beginning, I thought it'd be good because Glenn Powell...
and I was kind of like, I don't know about the cast.
I was pretty confident because Glenn Powell is a gorgeous man. He's really great at acting. Like, if you've seen Set It Up, he was in that rom-com and he was so good in that rom-com.
See, I was more worried about Sydney Sweeney and the other guy.
Oh.
He's from Never Have I Ever.
What's his name?
I only can think of his name in that movie, Paxton.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, again.
I was pretty confident with her, though. Like, I've seen her. I mean, obviously, I've seen her in Euphoria and, like...
See, I haven't really seen her in much.
Maybe just Euphoria. But I was like...
I haven't seen her enough. I don't know if I can picture her in this type of a movie. But she did a good job.
Plus, though, I knew, too, where it was a playoff of Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Since it was those movies, for me, like, if you look back in past ones, like, 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man, which if you're a Shakespeare buff, you know that those are also based off plays. They're so funny, okay? The adaptations, the modern adaptations are gold. They are so good. So I was like, okay.
And when done well, they're like amazing.
Hilarious. Because like the thing is too, for me, I took a Shakespeare class in high school and we read Twelfth Night, which is the play that She's the Man is based off of. And let me tell you too, if you like know what's behind it, so hilarious, makes it even funnier. And then we also read Much Ado About Nothing, and we watched the movie. So like I know the story, so I was like, this is gonna be really funny. Like if they make enough references, and I love that in the movie they had like quotes, that would like appear like in certain instances, like it'd be like on from
the wall or on the sign.
The sign by the boat that they got on, like direct quotes from the play, which I loved.
It's subtle. It was kind of like if you didn't look for it, or if you didn't pay attention well enough, you would have kind of missed it. But it was there, and I really enjoyed that.
Obviously, spoiler alerts, but like at the end when they're in like the baseball arena or like baseball stadium or whatever, at the end it says like Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh yeah.
So I love that because it was like subtle like references, but it wasn't like in your face.
Yeah.
Like
they didn't try too hard.
No.
They did honestly talking about production and like choosing things and how to have stuff laid out. They did it all very well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, because here's the thing, too, with that. It was a fake dating trope.
Like, which fake dating is one of my favorite tropes. Like, if I had to choose...
Fake dating or marriage of convenience, those two are always good in books and movies.
Tropes. Like, those are my favorite ones to read or watch.
It just makes for a perfect comedy situation, though, especially for a movie. Like, it's perfect because... They're trying to appear as one thing, right? And only the audience knows that's what they're doing. And then you have the outside people who don't know. So it makes it just like, it sets up the perfect like equation to make it funny situation.
And you find it funny because you're in on it, you know? And you're like, oh, they're trying to
do this.
Appear like they like each other. And it's so funny. It works well every time.
And I did love like the production part of it too, like was very good because like, no really CGI that I could tell.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a lot of CGI. Everything was kind of
everything.
Yeah, and like real.
I don't know if they really filmed. I think they did film in Australia, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did.
So.
And so they filmed on location for a lot of things. Costuming was I mean
really
on
good.
Spot for modern day stuff. Like it was
not
good.
too.
No.
Like it wasn't. It's not gonna.
Not like too trendy, like high-end. Yeah. No, like it was very classic. It was her outfits were very
that's kind of with today.
She looked good. I liked her outfits.
Yeah.
Her hair, I loved her hair. Her hair was very like on trend, but like in a good way.
And Glenn Powell was
he's just hot, so
sexy, everything a leading man needs to be.
I love him as an actor though. He really is such a good actor. Like, yes, he's attractive and I will say that, but like his acting though,
He does very well.
He evokes emotions for me. He really does. Because, like, I feel for him. Like, if he's having an emotional scene, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I just, like, him in Top Gun, I definitely, like, hated his character because he's really good at playing kind of like that asshole jerk.
Right.
But, like, at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm feeling that, like, I don't like you that much. But, and, like, in Set It Up, in that rom-com, he was so charming and just, like, funny. And again, this one, like, his character is just kind of lovable. You just have to kind of, like, love him.
Yeah, he's very good at, like, portraying real emotions.
And it feels like just very authentic and just not, like, not forced. And so I really love him as an actor.
He's definitely one of our newer up-and-coming actors.
Like, people say, like, I don't want to compare him to anybody, but, like, he could very well be a good Matthew McConaughey in the rom-com world if he decided to go that route, because he's very good.
Yeah, kind of that same energy, I would say. But yeah, let's jump into the review portion.
Ooey gooey.
Ooey gooey, I would say...
Which we did review this on our Instagram, but we since updated this, so we're going to give it, like, we're going to revamp our reviews.
Because I don't even remember what I said to begin with.
Me neither.
But for ooey gooey, I would give it a solid...
For me, a solid, like, 8 or 9.
See, I think a solid 7.
Only 7?
Okay, I'm much more brutal when it comes to ooey gooey stuff, though.
But, like, okay, there's a couple things, though. Like, we were watching a little bit of it last night, again, and the thing is like, okay, yes, like, there's, like, the fun scene where they get together finally. That's me not as ooey gooey. He freaking jumps in the water and gets harbor rescue to take him to the opera house to run to her. Okay, how is that not so ooey gooey?
See, it's just, like,
it's a romantic gesture. Try hard. What?
I'm kidding. I know, it's really ooey gooey.
And,
there's just overall through the movie, there's only a few parts that makes me feel it.
Opening
scene
the
7.
when, like, they get to, like, when they meet for the first time, it's so adorable. Like, they're getting to know each other. He tells her about his mom, and then you have the scene when they get together for the, he makes the grilled cheese again, and, like, it's like, I'm even an 8. I have to give it an 8 or 9, I think.
Okay, I'm still gonna stick with my 7.
Overall comedy, this one for me,
I would say 9.
I was to say 9 too. I was like, do I want to give it 10? I'm gonna say 9.
Only a few movies deserve 10 for comedy. I would say
agree.
It gets a pretty solid 9.
It's a 9.
Only because I will say, like, rewatching it,
yeah,
I would drop that. Because, like, rewatching it, I didn't laugh as much.
Well, we skipped.
No, I've rewatched it all the way again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you went.
So, like, I would say 9.
I think the only movie both of you and I could confidently put a 10 on,
Ghostbusters. Well, that and Mom's Night Out. Yeah. Because Mom's Night Out still makes me laugh.
Throwback classics first, though. So pretty much any movie besides those are going to be hard to make a 10 for us. But this one, confidently a 9, though, because it was so hilarious. Right. Raunchy Spicy. Honestly, I wanted more, for me, totally honest.
For an R-rated romance,
it was tame.
Pretty tame.
They only got together for one scene, and they only had, and it was, like, very minimal.
Yeah, very.
It was just kind of like a little short montage. Like, they, like, kiss in the kitchen, and then you have a couple shots of them kissing in the shower, but it's, like, minimal. And then it's, like, on the bed for, like, 5 minutes, though. It's not even, like, a very long thing. Not even 5 minutes. It's, like, pretty short.
No, and pretty much mostly all covered, too. So
like, nothing
I would
was
say
shown.
For a spicy, adding in the raunchiness of, like, the overall vibes of the movie, I would say
a 7.
A 5.
Only a 5?
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, I've seen so much worse.
I mean, I know, yeah, same. But, like, I'm gonna give it a 7. Rewatchability. For me, I'd watch it again, for sure.
Yeah.
Not, like, a ton, but, like, I'd rewatch it again. Not, like, I would say, like, for me, I can rewatch, like, The Proposal, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Those ones, like, a lot. This one, I think I need to rewatch it a couple more times in order to tell if it's gonna be at that level. But probably at least a 5.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Yeah, for me, I did go to it in theaters again. And, like, I wanted to go again in theaters. And I would probably, like, it's definitely not going to be one of my all-time favorites, I don't think. Unless I keep watching it a ton and grow to love it. But I'd probably watch it, like, once a year or every other, depending on my mood. So, yeah, for rewatchability, I would definitely say, like, a 6.
Sorry, I just got stuck on you saying theater so many times.
Sorry.
Theater.
Whatever. We're not even getting started on
every
that
time.
Today. I don't even want to.
Okay, musicality. The soundtrack was really good. I liked it. And they had that original, well, I think it's an original song for the movie.
What original song?
Anyone But You.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't hear
when
that.
they got together and at the end.
I didn't hear that. What does it even sound
Anyone
like?
But You
I don't
by Still
remember
Woozy.
I'll have to go listen to that.
Yeah, you'll have to do it.
I'm not as good at picking out music as you are.
But, like, they played, really?
I get the overall vibes, but like...
But then, of course, they used Unwritten.
Right.
Unwritten by
Which
Natasha
is such a
Bedingfield.
random, but good choice.
Yes, I loved it.
That's my Serenity song.
Like, the fact that they use an old, like, early 2000s song in such, like, a perfect way to, like, revamp it for modern day.
Yeah.
Where they, like, it's obvious, like, they knew, like, the audience watching the movie would know that song. Because, like, anybody our age or older is going to know that song because it was so popular.
And it automatically makes it a better romance because it is the old school.
Versus, and like a new song.
Yeah, and you know that's a song that, like, it's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
No.
New songs, it's like, oh, people are going to be sick of this in a week because it's so overplayed right now.
Yeah.
And well, like, it doesn't hit the same. I hate modern songs in movies.
Like, the thing is, yeah, they used a lot of modern songs for their other moments in the movie.
Which
but,
is
like,
fine.
For their main song to be that people are
kind of the
now,
standout
the
song.
TikToks now have all been with that song. And, like, I'm not even sick of them. I love it.
Yeah. It's
like,
a good song.
To use an old song like that, it would not have been the same if they used, like, a modern song.
No, because it wouldn't have had that same nostalgia.
Musicality, for just that song alone, and then plus everything else, I
give it a 7.
I think I'm gonna give it an 8. Okay, CGI and effects. Well, like we talked about, it was a lot. It seemed like it was on location, so there wasn't much, like, CGI.
But, like, the effects that they did have, like, kind of the real effects, like their fireworks blowing up the thing, done well. It's not really an effect because it was a real thing, but, like, the helicopter scenes, done well.
I mean, production as well. The City
boat,
Sweeney, like, freaking hell, the spider. I mean, props to her.
Like everything was kind of very real, and so it was, you know,
it felt
not a lot to compare on that with CGI.
So as far as, like, on the scale though, like how it looked, it was really good because it looked good.
So if we count this one as just, like, overall production and look, I would say it was a very beautiful movie.
Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, they filmed on location in Australia, so it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's hard to beat when you're filming on location.
So I would say 8 for that.
Same.
If I'm being honest. Okay, action. It wasn't an action movie, but it had some good, like, I mean, she falls off a boat. He jumps in to save her, and then they get on a buoy in the middle of the harbor, and Harbor Rescue comes and saves them. And you see the entire lift. Okay, I told Aly last night, one of my favorite scenes now from a rom-com is got to be them getting saved out of the harbor, because I don't know what it is about that scene for me, but it felt so romantic in, like, a very big way.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, like, she falls off a boat. He literally jumps in to save her into this freezing water so that she's not alone. They swim to a buoy, are sitting on it. They have this heartfelt conversation for, like, a second. Like, they kind of apologize
to
each other for what happened.
Like
some truth come out.
A moment.
She tells him she's quitting law school, you know, and he apologizes that, like, he's like, well, you really hurt me. Like, they're very, like, raw with each other. And then they get saved by a helicopter. And usually movies would, like, cut that and, like, not actually show the full thing. And then you have the song playing, and it's
like a vulnerable moment for him.
Yeah, because he's scared of heights, and, like, she tries to comfort him, and, like, be there for him, and it's funny. First of all,
it's a really big turning point in the movie.
Yeah, huge. Because then after that, then they get together like, later that night, and so for me, action as far as that goes, and then the end, of course, when he jumps off to go get her again. So the couple sequences that there was that I would consider actiony, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. But as an overall action movie, I would give it, like, a 3.
Well, I'm going to give it a 5 because those two sequences, for me, I love that scene. That scene of him, like, of them getting up in the water is just so good. Yeah. With the song playing and them singing to each other. I just think it's so cute. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Next
Tearjerker.
Tearjerker, okay?
I mean, I didn't cry.
But, like, emotional-wise, I was feeling really lovely
I felt the ups and downs
I felt the ups and downs.
Rom-com.
And I did walk out of there, like, with the high of a movie going. That was a good movie. Sure. I feel good. I enjoyed it. Happy, sad.
I laughed. I enjoyed it.
So I would give it a 7.
I'd agree with that. A 7. Jump scares. There wasn't any for me. No cringy moments that I was like, yeah.
Nope. And nothing that, like, actually scared me or anything. So just a 0.
Just because it doesn't really apply there. And then last one. What'd you watch with your parents? Okay. A couple things for this movie that you have to... you have to, like, factor into this decision if you're going to watch it. It is an R-rated movie, so if your parents aren't into watching those, maybe not this.
But that being said, would we watch it with our parents specifically? No.
I'd watch it with Dad. I would
watch it with Dad. I would not watch it with Mom. So maybe that's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 5. Yeah, mine was a 62 out of 100.
Mine is a 58.
That tracks.
Yeah. Overall, very good movie.
It was.
Way better than I thought it'd be.
It was very enjoyable. Like we said, very funny. Kind of, I mean, lighthearted because it was just like a good rom-com. Like, it had all the qualities of rom-com. Micro tropes. I mean, fake dating. Funny parents. Her parents were really funny in that movie too, because very relatable content. They were just trying to marry off.
It was super relatable, yeah.
Very funny.
Hilarious.
And then, of course, like we said, with the quotes from Shakespeare thrown in there, very, like, well done on that part.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of our reviews for both of those movies today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get our review system posted, and we're back. We're back to rolling each week.
Season 2, baby.
Season 2. We
needed a break after filming for every week for 6 months,
but
so it was good.
We're back. We have tons of exciting stuff planned out for the future. Big up and coming things is Dune, obviously. That's going to be a massive one for us.
So next week's, we're going to be talking about everything you need to watch going into Dune Part 2.
Everything you need to remember
about the first one.
Kind of a recap and our thoughts on the new one versus what we're hoping for in the second one. So,
and then we'll be reviewing the new one when it comes out, because you best believe we're going to that when it comes out. We're so excited.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the next couple weeks, and then we'll obviously be jumping into
some
more fun content. So yeah, again, follow us everywhere we're at: TikTok, Instagram,
Spotify.
You can listen to us anywhere.
Everything's tagged down below. And yeah, thanks for joining us so far, and hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.